Well, welcome back everybody to another episode of Hot Rod Guy Garage, and this is another How to Make Your Geo Metro Faster video. It's been a week since we took Project Freetro to the track. I say a week, it's not really been a week. That was last Tuesday, today is Saturday, but I've been super busy at the shop, so I had to work our fix in throughout the week, so there's not really a lot of footage of that. So I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm going to show you what I've kind of done previous and before. And we're going to take this thing out today and try to make a couple hits and see if our problem's fixed. So flip the camera around, be right back. And alright guys, we got Project Freetro sitting here in the driveway. The first thing I've done, and you can now notice that we have plenty of room here, so you can see how jacked up our throttle linkage actually was. So if you watched the video where I took it to the stick shift race, we had some pretty not happy times. So got our throttle linkage fixed. If you'll notice, our engine mounts are now gray. The reason for that is I went in here and I welded these mounts up, took all the rubber out of them, and basically made them solid. While they're not the most beautiful thing in the world, they work, and that's what's important, is that they're strong. So now we're going to test the tensile strength of the unibody itself, and hopefully it holds up fine. Another thing you'll notice is the plug wires have changed. This kind of a maintenance thing, guys. The plug wires I had on this thing, I had on the first Turbo Metro, they were probably going on 15 plus years old. So I just put a fresh set of wires on this one, and I put a fresh set of wires on the Project Blue Balls over there. Other than that, nothing in the tune's changed. Really, I've not done anything else to it. I just fixed our motor mount situation. But previous to that, I was working on another video, and the little Mustang sub-series kind of took away from this one temporarily. I have done other things. I don't have no data for what I've done yet. The track thing was going to be kind of a, I was going to try to make a glory pass. That just didn't happen. So, in fact, we just tore stuff up, and, here we are now. Which is to be expected. I mean, you can't expect a rubber mount to survive the launches that I'm trying to put this thing through. So, I'm going to flip the camera around, and I'll show you what else I've done. Now, I have took some more weight out of the car. This is aluminum sheet. Right here, it is very thin stuff. And the reason why we have an aluminum sheet here is because down here, I have cut the factory floorboard out of it behind the seat mount. And along with that, this stuff worth mentioning, our hatch shocks are bad, so I took that driver's side one off. So how much weight did that take out? I have no clue, but it wasn't a whole lot. I say we may have lost 5 to 6 pounds there total, maybe a little more. I'll have to get it back on the scales, and I've not decided yet. I might go to the shop today and throw this thing on the scales, just because I'm kind of curious. But this is just kind of a start to future things to come, guys. This is turning into pretty much a full-on drag car, and if we're going to go that far, we might as well go all the way. So I'm going to stop right here. We're going to go try to collect some data, and I will try to video some of the passes I make. And I don't know if technically I can anymore, because with solid engine mounts, of course, comes with 3-cylinder vibrations, and you know what that means, right? It's pretty darn shaky. It's shakier than I am on most good days. So let's get loaded up let's drive over to Mexico and see if we can make some kind of passes and see if we have any kind of improvement. Yeah, makes it vibrate. Alright guys, I've made it back home. Things to note today, the density altitude was about 3,200 foot. So in general, when your density altitude gets higher, the car slows down. But that's not what happened. What I did notice, and sorry for the shadowiness, what I did notice, the solid mounts, while it made the car extremely vibrating inside, especially at idle, it's not too bad running down the road. I'll drop a little video of that right after this. It really helped the car hook. We dropped about a tenth off 60-foot time. Really surprised me. The car reacts different. Gear changes are more positive because the motor's not moving away from the shifter. Got some good data out of it today. I don't know what our next step's going to be yet. But basically, guys, we went 9:18 in the 8th mile. I'll drop a shot right here of the times. Picked up some mile an hour. I run out the quarter mile, and this time I focused on the boost gauge. While our boost is set to 20 to 22 pounds, just like our supercharger was, I noticed in the higher RPM, higher gear range, we're actually dropping down to about 10 pounds boost. So I've got either a boost leak to look for, which I really don't think it has one. There's not a lot of piping, there's not a lot of stuff in the system. I think our wastegate actuator, because it's only got a 7 psi wastegate actuator, guys. It's internally gated. Lots of RPM, lots of exhaust flow. It's blowing that thing open, which is slowing turbo down, causing the boost drop, especially in the higher gears, higher RPM range. That's something I want to address in this video. So keep watching along with me, and I'll be back here in just a few. And alright guys, I spent a little time looking at the car. Didn't see any boost leaks. So at this point, I pulled this external wastegate off. And I want to shorten the rod on a little bit because even out of the box, now keep in mind this is a cheap turbo. It's a GT2871 clone. Out of the box, the wastegate actuator arm barely had not even enough tension to hold the wastegate flap shut. So I added the manual boost controller as kind of a temporary thing, and I've seen some pretty severe boost spikes at times, and then other times we don't have any boost. So what I've come up with to fix that, or at least attempt to fix it, and we'll test it in this video and see if it does, is I'm going to shorten the wastegate actuator rod a little bit. It's not going to be a magic super fix, but it should definitely help. So I'm going to flip the camera around and I'll show you what I got going on. So this is your basic external wastegate actuator. Your boost comes in here, blows on the diaphragm in here, and there's a spring, and it blows this rod out to open the wastegate. Normally you want to say about 1/4 of an inch of pull to hook it onto the arm of the turbo. This one's got less than a 1/16 of an inch of pull. Even with this fully threaded, it was only going to about right here. So what I've done, I come in here with a hacksaw and I cut the end of the rod off. About, it's probably 3/4 of an inch. What that does allow is this to screw all the way down right here. So I'm going to give this a try, get this back on the car, and see if it makes a boost difference. Alright guys, as you can see, this is our wastegate arm right here. And it does hit on the turbo blanket slightly. But what you see here is where I've got the rod adjusted, we got about a half of a hole right there. And I'm going to try it right here. I backed our boost controller down about 2 turns. I'm going to hook it up here. And let's go for a ride and see what we got. Well guys, I'm loaded up. Let's go take a ride. I got my laptop. Let's do some logging and make sure everything's going to be happy. And we'll see what happens. Well, that wasn't a major fix like I thought it was going to be. So let's tighten up that rod a little bit more. It may just be at the point where no matter what we do to the wastegate actuator, it's just not going to be happy. I've took the wall down for the boost cut. Still, 20 plus pounds of boost in first gear. And second gear, it drops to about 15. And third, we're down around 10 to 11. So completely backwards from where we need to be. I would rather see 10 to 11 in first, and then 15, and then 20, and then 22. But it's all about trial and error, guys. This stuff like this, you're gonna have to tweak. It's like this car. To go as fast as this car's going, you're gonna have to put in a lot of time, a lot of tuning time, a lot of tweaking time. Like I said before, it's gonna make to the point where you end up with a non-drivable everyday car. In this case, this car, it don't matter because I've got the other one over here I drive every day. So let me get tightening that up a little more, and we'll see if it makes a difference. And if it don't, we're gonna have to go to another alternate means of controlling it that way. Well guys, looks like second time was a charm. I now have 20 pounds boost all the way up into 5th gear. This thing just does not quit pulling now that we have boost up top. Gonna have to get some more data. It's obviously way too hot in the day to get that, so I'll be back here in just a few minutes. So basically guys, I think we got our boost issue at least temporarily fixed. I am going to order another wastegate actuator for this thing probably this afternoon, because I'm not happy with the onset. Before we peaked in first gear, and now we have a slow climb in first gear. Basically, this turbo is way too big for this motor, and I knew this from the get-go, and got too much wastegate flow, pretty much, for our wastegate actuator. So that's something I'm going to have to step back and address later on, and it'll be addressed in our next How to Make Your Geo Metro Faster video. But for today, I think we've proved that it has picked up, especially from our trip to the track and from the last one. So far we picked up about 2/10 with really not much of a change otherwise. So a lot of tweaking and tuning, as I said earlier in the video, that goes along with this stuff. None of this stuff is just an instant bolt-on, instant gratification thing. You're going to have to put a little work into it, and a little tweaking, and a little troubleshooting, and a little making stuff yourself. So it's up to you to figure out what point in this series that you want to stop. As far as Project Freetro, these videos are going to continue on for quite a while. I don't want anybody to think that this series is going to end. The car may get to a point where it's kind of unrelatable to most people. And if we get to that point, we'll start down the same trail with Project Blue Balls. Uh, as much as I don't want to modify that car because it is a great stock car and gets great fuel mileage, that may be our next step. So if you haven't took a minute yet, make sure you hit that like button, share these videos with your friends, because even though we have 1,000 subscribers, we're still lacking on watch hours. And, you know, it really helps out. And, guys, I guess until the next time to make your Geo Metro faster, that's it for this episode. So I'll see you at the next one. Thanks for watching.